What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the DX9 Capone, their version of a Masterpiece Motormaster. So yes, this is an older figure. I'm getting it for the first time here. So just a little backstory on that. I ordered this back in July of 2021. DX9 production slowed, or I guess got delayed. And then they finally delivered it in, I think, October or November. But unfortunately, due to shipping delays and the pandemic, everything is just slow. So by the time I got this, it was now February of 2022. Anyway, he's here now, so we're going to take a look at this guy in his robot mode, as well as the fully combined mode of the DX9. I already have the other 4 vehicles that come with this guy. So I am excited to look at that, and hopefully it helps you guys decide, if you haven't decided already, on a set that you want to go with here for the Stunticons. So let's take a look at all the accessories. It does come with a collector's card. This is one of the thickest collector's cards. It's really thick and heavy. Inner dream, eternal hobby. DX9 has always said that. There's Capone. There's his tech specs. Sadly, this might be the last DX9, one of the last DX9 figures we ever get. I think it was actually the drag strip was the last one. And then they said they're not going to be creating new figures, only reissuing older figures. So this is one of those older figures that they reissued. So you do also get a sword here for Motormaster. If you turn this upside down, here's the bottom. You can see it's pretty solid underneath. There's the tab, 2 tabs here. That's going to fit in right here on the bottom. There is also a larger sword, but it doesn't really store. I'm not really sure. It seems like it kind of fits here. Actually, this way. It sort of fits in there, and it sort of holds, but I don't think it was meant to go there, so I'm not really sure if it has storage or not for the gigantic Minosaur sword. So we'll just set that aside for now. If we flip this back up on its wheels, you can take the other gun, which is for Motormaster or Capone, and that'll fit right here. Just tabs into the side of the truck onto these 2 pegs, and you can kind of transport that. Now you did see this door does open, so you have some features. Got some nice paint here, silver detail, chrome here, painted doors, translucent here, and then the translucent with the metallic behind it. Metallic paint here on the smokestacks, and then the same paint here on the wheels. Those all look nice, and then purple paint here. Doors do open. You can't really put anything in there, to be honest. It's a pretty small space. You could probably get maybe a minifigure or something in there. Both sides do open, obviously. And for size comparison, there is Capone next to the MP10 Optimus Prime and the Fans Toys version Road King. And you can see the cabs are essentially the exact same size. I have them all lined up here. The back is relatively close to the same. The heights are relatively close. The widths are relatively close. But then where they differ are the actual trailers. So the smallest trailer here is the Fans Toys, which actually it's all in one transformation. The next one up is the MP10, and then the biggest one here is going to be Capone. So let's just get this out of the way for a second so you can see. And you can see how much longer this thing is. I mean, it's just a gigantic trailer. And one more comparison, there is the Capone next to his mates here, the Stunticons all together. Nice to be able to complete the set like this. Wish Fans Toys would complete theirs. But you can see they do seem to fit in. They're larger cars, so if you don't know, these are scaled up compared to the regular cars. Now Fans Toys did a little magic where they have their vehicle modes scaled down to fit with the rest of the Autobot cars, but then their robot modes are bigger. But there you go. They really look good together as a set. I really like how they came out all overall. Other than the large trailer, I think they look good together. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his robot mode for Motormaster. And we may get to this trailer, depends how long this video is, but don't be surprised if you don't see the rest of this trailer for the rest of the review. That's just because of the length. So let's start off, and you may need a spudger to get this open, but you do want to get these panels opened up. And I have found they're pretty tough, so I just stick something there and open those up, all right? That'll allow you to take this and open that open, and that's going to detach this from the trailer. So we can just set the trailer aside, or we'll actually just move it out of the way. All right, now we have the trailer out of the way, we can work on this. This is actually kind of funny. It's just a little quarter of a trailer here, but let's work on this. So go ahead and come to the bottom here, unpeg these from the side. You can fold these in, fold these panels down and in, fold these wheels up. You can take those and rotate them, and they're just going to sit there for a minute. I think they're going to go the other way. So all the way around. And those can just sit there because we're going to take care of it a little bit later. Pull those forward and leave those there for now. We're going to separate this cab, and that's going to make the feet. So go ahead and open up this, and we'll work on one at a time. So go ahead and take the leg and fold this panel down, fold this inwards. I'll take this entire knee and fold that downwards. Don't close it all the way just yet. Take the panel, you just fold it out, fold this inwards, fold that into there, collapse the smokestack, and this is just going to sit on the back of his foot. Also, you're going to push this forward, and that's going to allow you to peg that in there. All right, to come to the front here, don't peg this knee in just yet because we need to lift this up. So go ahead and lift this panel upwards. It is tabbed in on the side here, so just be careful of that. Rotate this around, and then just going to fold inwards and hide away inside of the leg. Come to the bottom here, you're going to fold this panel forward. That's going to allow you to take this tire and rotate it on the inside. Take this panel that's going to sit on the bottom of the tire. Fold this all the way up, and then I think this foot is supposed to kind of sit flush like that. But you can have it forward a little bit if you want to. Go ahead and take this panel. This is going to fold to the front. Take this wheel. That's going to sit right here on the back. Come to the outside here. Fold out this panel. Rotate it, and that gives you the little cartoon look with the 3 wheels. And now you can take this knee and peg that in. And that's one leg done. All right, so we'll go a little bit faster on this side just because we just did it. Fold this up. Fold that panel in, fold that down, push this forward a little bit, fold that in, come to the bottom, open up this foot here. That'll allow you to fold the wheel in and then cover that up. Come to the front here, and I closed the knee before I was ready. Flip this around, flip this panel in, and then hide that back down. You can tab the knee back in. Push that in so it sits flush. Fold this panel down. Fold this down. Open up the engine or the gas tank, fold that around, and tab it back in. Right, and there you have 2 legs done. Now we got to work on the cab. And the cab is interesting. So go ahead and take the cab there, and it's going to sit like 2 rectangles there on each other. We can open up this panel here. That's going to allow you to do that. Rotate this around, and that's going to become the front of the robot mode. And we have this leg backwards. All right, so now that we have that kind of situated, we know the direction, we know which way we're looking, we can sort of unpeg this, and that's going to go to the back. And same with this, unpeg this. This is going to come to the back. And we're going to accordion this up, so I'll show you how this is going. This is accordion down. These tabs are going to go into his back. So get those in, tab those in, and then these are going to tab into here. So get that onto his back. All right, same on this side, accordion that down, tab that in, and then tab it into the side of the back. Fold these panels upwards. I think that makes a better look for his back. You can leave those down if you want, but I think it's supposed to be up for the look of that more slender backpack. Rotate around and we'll take care of these arms. So unpeg this panel from here. Unpeg this panel from here. Fold the arm down, fold the hand out, accordion this elbow inside, and then fold this up. Rotate the hand. And then same on this side. Open up this panel here. fold this panel, allow you to accordion this out, open up your hand, rotate that around, accordion that in, and then fold up these panels. And then last step, push this head tab in, and then pull the helmet just ever so slightly backwards. And there we have Capone in his robot mode. Pretty good looking. He's got some interesting choices for proportions, but not bad. Here's the back. Pretty clean. Now you can see he was kind of a quarter cab, or so the cab and a quarter of the trailer kind of combined into one. So that's how he ended up with this much material. But overall nice. You got some black paint here, some translucent purple here and here. Obviously the glass here is the same. You have this faux part here that folds out from the wheels to make up the front of the truck. Just like the other ones, they all kind of do that. I have noticed these doors are a little bit loose. You could probably put a little bit of floor polish or key inside there to tighten that up. And I just wanted to give a close-up on that head sculpt. There it is. It's okay. It's not quite Motormaster, but it's close. You can use those accessories I showed you earlier. So here's the sword. You can get that into his hand here. And here's his gun. You can get that into his hand as well. Both of these look nice. They're just fit into the tabs here on the hands. They can't be used in the Menacer mode. They're too small, but two, they just won't fit in the hands. But there you go for his weapons. All right, now let's go over Capone's articulation. The head is on a pull-up joint, so you probably want it like that to begin with, so it just looks no more natural. It does go down to there, back to there, and rotates all the way around. And like I mentioned, you can move this in and out. I believe it's meant to go back, but it doesn't lock in place. You have a rotation here on a ratchet. It goes up to there, so the entire joint lifts out of the shoulder. But you can also go on this joint, so plenty of movement there on the shoulder. Rotation at the bicep. You have a single jointed elbow, gets you basically 90 degrees. You have a rotation at the wrist. You have a single pin for the fingers. Their pointer finger is separate, but unfortunately it's curled, so you can't do anything with it. And then you have the thumb here on a joint as well. Moving down, you have an ab crunch. You have a waist swivel on a soft ratchet. You have a single hip skirt here. I don't like single hip skirts, but that's the way they did it. Back to here, hindered by this, which is unmovable. Out to the side, hindered by, again, that piece, which is unmovable. Rotation at the thigh. A double jointed knee, very loose. I had to tighten these screws when I first got it. I don't know if that's every copy or my copy, but you do get a lot of movement out of that. It's just loose. You have ankle tilt, and if you pull it forward a little bit, you can get a little bit more. And again, I'm not sure if this is intended to be all the way back or somewhere in the middle, but you do get some nice tilt out of there. You have, does it go back and forth? Not really. It doesn't go back and forth, but you get plenty of side to side on those ankles. And for a size comparison, there's Capone next to the Fans Toys Road King and the MP44 Optimus Prime. You can see he is taller than MP44, but obviously shorter, much shorter than the Fans Toys Road King. I don't know what the right size is. I do feel like he should be bigger than Optimus, but how much bigger is kind of up to you. But there you go. We will be doing a full versus on these two to do a comparison, so I don't want to spend any more time here, but there they are together. So final thoughts on DX9 Capone, and also we'll just talk about the set as a whole. Let's start with the positives. I think it looks pretty good in both the robot mode and the vehicle mode. It works. The transformation is fun and intuitive. I never actually took out the instruction manual, believe it or not. I didn't need it because it's such a simple and fun and straightforward transformation that it just works. It works. On all of these, actually, they're all pretty fun. The only one that's a little bit complex is this one's got some funky stuff in the legs, but the rest of these are really easy and simple. I also think that the accessories they included were nice, especially if you're getting this package as a whole with the trailer was $200. So you get the robot mode, you get the sword and the gun, you get the combined mode sword, You get the little bug here that turns into the combined mode gun. That's a pretty good value for what you're getting. It's much cheaper than the Fans Toys and the X-Transbots version because you had to pay extra for the combiner parts. But overall, it does feel like a pretty good value for what you're getting. Negatives wise, the finish, the fit and finish, and the materials and the hardware overall are a little bit lacking, especially compared to Fans Toys. Just example, these knees, they were loose when I got it out of the box. I did tighten those screws, but all this plastic is kind of that cheaper plastic. It's not going to break on you. I don't feel like this is going to break at all, but it does feel a little bit cheaper, and that's kind of true across the board. They all feel a little bit on the cheap side as far as materials are concerned. It's also a little bit lacking with the paint. It's got paint, don't get me wrong. It's got paint on the legs and on the chest and on the face. But overall, the entire set is a little bit lacking in the chest, in the paint. A little bit lacking in fit and finish. So if you want a set that's going to get you the Stunticons at a reasonable price, but still perform well and fit with your Masterpiece Collection, I think this is a good one. I'm going to recommend this. I like Capone. I think they did a good job. Now, comparing to the others, I may not think the same thing. Now, we are going to do versus with the Fans Toys version, so you can stay tuned for that. But as far as this set's concerned, I do recommend it. I do like Capone a lot, especially because he's just fun. And it's much more simple. You can sit down for 5-10 minutes and be done transforming both the robot mode and the combined mode, believe it or not. So stay tuned for my video for the combined mode. I have more to say about this set as a whole when it comes to combined mode. Here I only covered the robot and vehicle mode of this guy, but we'll take care of combined mode in the other video. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.